Alibaba launches Qwen3.8 Max model, undercutting Kimi K3. Enterprise procurement teams now benchmark every open model quote against this new rate card from Alibaba. Moonshot faces a direct choice: cut Kimi K3 pricing to parity within 90 days or watch its developer mindshare migrate to the larger parameter count. The second option would also force downstream application vendors to renegotiate their own SLAs. Either outcome tightens the window for smaller labs to reach break-even before larger players consolidate the market. U.S. states repeal data center tax breaks, raising costs. Operators must now absorb or pass along the restored tax burden on new builds. That shift pushes fresh capacity toward the handful of states still offering incentives, concentrating risk in Texas and Nevada grids. Smaller AI labs without long-term power contracts will see training costs rise first. Expect the next round of model releases from non-hyperscale teams to slip into 2026 as a direct result of squeezed margins. PC makers adopt China's CXMT memory chips amid shortage. Qualification of CXMT parts by major PC OEMs signals that the shortage has overridden prior sourcing preferences across the supply chain. Samsung and SK Hynix now confront volume leakage in the low-end laptop segment unless they expand output faster than planned for 2025. The move also gives Chinese fabs a revenue stream to fund next node development, extending the timeline before Western memory makers regain pricing power in commodity DRAM. Global memory shortage hits MacBook Air. Production slots for the MacBook Air are being deprioritized in favor of configurations that carry higher memory margins for Apple. Education and small business channels that rely on the Air will face longer lead times and possible price increases through the holiday season. That gap opens a window for Windows OEMs using the same CXMT chips to capture share in price-sensitive segments before Apple can ramp its own custom memory solutions. Nvidia-backed Reflection AI lags open-source rivals. Reflection's backers now face a narrowing window to demonstrate traction before open-source momentum shifts elsewhere in the ecosystem. The team must either ship a competitive checkpoint by summer or watch Nvidia redirect resources toward labs already posting weights on Hugging Face. Either path reveals whether the investment thesis still holds once inference costs, not training scale, determine market leadership among open models. Robinhood prediction revenue tops stock trades. Traders are now routing more volume through event contracts than equities, which flips the revenue mix toward higher margin but higher volatility products tied directly to news events. This forces Schwab and E-Trade to either build their own prediction books or watch fee income erode as clients chase the new instruments. Regulators in Washington are already signaling tighter oversight on these markets by early next year, a move that could freeze growth just as it scales. Palantir U.S. enterprise sales jump 149% to $764 million. Most of the 149% jump came from existing customers expanding seats rather than fresh logos, which raises sustainability questions once those expansions peak. That dynamic now forces Palantir to prove it can land net new enterprise accounts at the same pace or risk a growth reset by next summer. Oracle will have to decide whether to embed similar ontology tools or lose ground on analytics spend. The pattern suggests commercial deals are lengthening sales cycles compared to federal work. Australia pushes big tech to pay more for news content. Google and Meta now face expanded levies that could double their Australian news payments within 2 years if they skip commercial deals. The policy also covers emerging AI summaries, which means the platforms must negotiate licensing for training data or risk separate fines. Smaller publishers gain leverage here, but the bigger question is whether this model spreads to Europe before Brussels finalizes its own rules next year.